Hi, welcome along to the show. I thought I'd do a video today to talk about the Champions League draw. We've drawn Fenerbahce from Turkey, and when I look at the draw, it's, well, how can I describe it? It's not the most difficult draw in the world, and again, it's not an easy draw as well because they're a half-decent team. Turkish teams are no longer the mugs that used to turn up like 20 years ago. Turkish teams nowadays are very, very good teams, as we saw the other day with Galatasaray. And Fenerbahce, again, are a very good team. However, we've played them before, we've never lost to them. And if Arsenal are to progress and do well in the Champions League, they should be brushing aside teams like Fenerbahce, especially at the Emirates. But I thought we'd take a look at Fenerbahce because, as I said, by no means are they mugs. And any team in the Champions League have got good players, and I thought I'd focus in on a couple of players that they have. So let's first of all take a look at the ex-Liverpool contingent that they have at Fenerbahce. They've got Dirk Kuyt. You all remember him. He used to play for Liverpool, went there as a striker, Dutch striker, but ended up playing a lot of his football out on the right. But, you know, he's a decent player, knocking on a bit, but he can score goals. And then there was Raul Morales. You remember him with all the tattoos all over the place? Probably better known for the tattoos than his actual gameplay. Portuguese international, half-decent player. On his day, can be a good player, will be a threat, and you know that every Liverpool fan out there is going to be praying that those two give their all to try and knock us out because they're still bitter about the whole Suarez affair. So they'll be wishing that Dirk Kuyt and Morales help Fenerbahce to do the business. Another player with a Liverpool connection, but this time the blue half of Liverpool, is Joseph Yobo. Used to play as a defender for Everton. Again, knocking on a bit, but a decent defender. He plays for Fenerbahce. And Bruno Alves, Portuguese international, rugged, rough-looking defender. He has recently signed for Fenerbahce. So again, they've got some decent players with experience. Interesting player that they've got is Emenike. They've just signed him from Spartak Moscow, and he's a Nigerian international, very, very quick, good striker, this guy. They paid a lot of money for him, nearly £12 million. He's going to be in there. So again, another threat for Arsenal. And they've also got Webo, or Webo, whichever way you want to pronounce it, Cameroon international. So again, looking through their team, they do have quality players. They've got Turkish internationals in there. Fenerbahce, make no mistake, will be a threat, will be a decent team. We're going to have to be professional. The first leg is being played over there in Turkey on the 20th or 21st of this month, August. So we're going to have to go there. I think if we go there and we manage to just keep a clean sheet and, you know, even if we don't win the game, let's just not concede any goals. Go there and try and get a couple of away goals and then bring them back to the Emirates, and I think it should be job done. But I just hope that we don't take it for granted. It is a big, massive game. Fenerbahce will have a lot of support in Turkey. You saw the Galatasaray fans the other day at the Emirates Cup. Turkish fans are very passionate. Fenerbahce are just like Galatasaray in that aspect. They'll have a very, very fervent crowd behind them, and they'll have good support when they come back to London as well. So, you know, it's going to be an intimidating atmosphere, but Arsenal are an experienced Champions League team, and I expect them to go there and do the business. I just only wish that we would have had a couple of signings in the team that we could have, you know, been able to use in that game. But with the players that we've got, we should be able to turn over Fenerbahce. I mean, if we can't beat a team like Fenerbahce, we shouldn't be in the Champions League. That's what it boils down to. So I'm just hoping that we can do the business there. Some of the other draws were quite interesting as well. I see that I think PSV are playing Lyon. That's a hard tie. I'm glad we didn't get PSV. I think that would have been a lot harder. And AC Milan against Real Sociedad. So in a way, getting Fenerbahce, we kind of got a bit of a result because I think I would have rather faced Fenerbahce than Sociedad. You know, they are a very, very good team. So let's hope fingers crossed that our guys go out there and do the business and we can progress into the proper group stages. I mean, we do it every year. I fully expect us to do it again this time around. Let me go on to now Suarez. I know many people must be getting fed up of hearing about Luis Suarez and in this whole, back and forth. But it was interesting. Today I was talking to some fans, and with what John Henry came out and said, where he's saying that there's absolutely no way, and it's ludicrous to suggest that Liverpool would sell Suarez to Arsenal, and that he's categorical in that he's not going to sell Suarez to Arsenal. And there's a lot of Gooners on Twitter and everything and saying that, the deal's dead. Now, to me, it's not dead yet. It is not dead yet. Just because John Henry's come out and said that, we haven't heard from Luis Suarez. It's all going to depend what Suarez says. If Suarez turns around and says, I'm going to knuckle down and get on with my game at Liverpool, then fair enough, it's dead. But I can't see that happening. He's very disgruntled at the moment. He thought he had an agreement with them where he could get a clause, where he had a clause in his contract where he could move if a team came in and offered over £40 million and they were a Champions League team. He's going to be feeling very, very disgruntled, particularly at people like John W. Henry, who are those people that he made the agreement with. So I somehow think it's got a long way yet to go. And unless Arsenal pull out of it, or unless Suarez decides to say, I wouldn't take what John Henry says completely as it's all over. Because we've heard it before. I've heard Arsene Wenger say we're not going to sell Robin van Persie. And then he said we're not going to sell him to a rival. And where did he go? Man United. Arsenal said we're not selling Nasri. Nasri went. Liverpool before said they will not be selling Torres. He's not going anywhere. Torres left. This year, Daniel Levy of the Spurs, the Spuds, said, no way are we selling Gareth Bale. But yet today I hear he's over in Miami negotiating with Real Madrid. So listen, in football, until that transfer window closes, we really don't know what's going to happen. John W. Henry could be saying a lot of these things to put himself in a good position, because it ups the price, doesn't it? That means that if Arsenal come back to him and he's on such a stiff stance, he might say, well, hold on, I want 50 million to even think about it. So it puts him in a good position to say that. Also, if he does eventually sell Suarez to Arsenal, he can turn round to all of the Liverpool fans and say, listen, I tried my best to hold on to him. I didn't want to let him go, but in the end we had no choice, because Suarez acted up and we couldn't integrate him into the team and it would have been too much problem. So although I didn't want to do it, regrettably, I had to do it. And all the Liverpool fans will be behind him and say, well, at least he tried to keep hold of him, rather than if he just said, all right, yeah, we'll sell him. If he did that, they'd all be against him. So do not take what John W. Henry says as it's all dead. It could possibly be that it doesn't happen. But somehow I think there's more to run on this. Liverpool are not Manchester City or Chelsea or Monaco or PSG that have got billions of dollars behind them. Liverpool are a team owned by American owners. American owners deal with profit. Suarez they bought for 20 odd million. If they can get 50 million for him, that's a whole heap of profit. They need to buy a new stadium. They need to buy players. They were trying to get Diego Costa. Why were they trying to get Diego Costa from Atletico Madrid if they weren't thinking about the deal to sell Suarez? Why would they need 5 strikers? They've got Barini. They've got Sturridge. All right, if they kept Suarez, they'd still have Suarez. How many is that? They've got 5 strikers, right? Aspas, why would they need to go and get another striker, Costa, to make it 5? It doesn't make sense. So, listen, just think about football over the last few years. Just because somebody, a manager comes out and or a board member or the owner comes out and says a player's not going, it doesn't always mean that. One player that I'm happy is not going anywhere is Cesc Fabregas. He's told Man United, I ain't going nowhere. I'm not going to Manchester United, and that is dead, because he's come out himself, the player, and said, I'm not moving. So, David Moyes, his transfer policy at the moment is starting to look even worse than ours. So but I'm hoping and praying that Arsenal, I mean, I just can't, you know, Gervinho's gone now. I just can't see that they're not going to bring in players. I mean, I know there's a lot of disgruntled fans out there. I know we've had to be very patient. I can't understand it myself. I can't even think now which targets we're after. But one thing I do know is that we are going to bring in some players. The squad at the moment is so thin on the ground that they must be intending to bring in players. So we're just going to have to wait and be patient, I'm afraid. And the season gets underway next week against Aston Villa. And we're just going to have to go into it with the players that we have. And I'm confident with the players that we've got, with the starting of fixtures, we should be okay. But we must strengthen that team with some world-class players. World-class players need to come in, add to what we've got, and we will be challenging next season. But it's all down to the manager, Arsene Wenger, Ivan Gazidis, the board. I'll tell you what, this is the biggest transfer window of their life. Let's see if they deliver. Thank you for watching the video today. Don't forget to like this video if you like it. Leave your comments below. Do you still want Suarez? Do you think now we should just abandon that and try and go after another target? If so, who? Lewandowski? A lot of people have been suggesting to me. Who do you want? Who do you think we should go after? Should we try and get Rooney? Should we try and derail Chelsea getting that? What should we do? So, you know, let me know. Also, check out all of our new videos. We did a load of videos at the Emirates Cup last week. Had some fantastic fans. Also, check out our videos from Members Day. Look out for some new features coming for the new season. We've got a new presenter, Philippa CB. She's going to be doing some real fun features before the game. And look out for our brand new signing, Cookie, who's going to be doing FIFA gaming and previews and reviews here, live here on Arsenal Fan TV. Thank you very much for watching the video. Thank you very much for the love. And I'm just hoping, praying, please, signings. Signings.